All right, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good morning, good morning, Grant Rising. First thing on the agenda, for those of you who have gotten your books, congratulations. For those of you who have not gotten books, as far as you didn't purchase one, shame on you. Well, the reason I say that is because we all want books, we all want to be authors, but we don't know how to write. So Antonio still has titles available. If you know someone, they don't even have to be you. You know someone who wants a book, just be like, hey, give me $100, I'll get you a book. Like I got you covered. Just you want to look, you want to be an author? Okay, give me $100. I get you a book. But seriously, if you know someone who is looking to purchase books, then Antonio still has a huge library. So, and he's always, hey, I'm not. Well, at this point, his career, he's not really writing any more books like that. So, if you know anybody, or even if you want one or another one, just reach out to Grace. Let Grace know. And we will get that taken care of for you. Next thing on the agenda. If you were not in class yesterday morning, if I'm looking at everybody, people like you're right for class yesterday. It was absolutely awesome. Therefore, thank you, Grace. Make sure you join us for the Exploring Alignment Conference, August 17th from 8 a.m. to 3:15 p.m. Now, tickets are $49. Get them now because the day it goes up. And there's some extra goodies that come along with the conference that you will receive 3 days prior to the conference date. So on the 14th of August, you will receive an email with how you can access the conference and an extra goodie or two. If you are not going to be able to make the conference, still get your ticket anyway at the $49 because on the 17th it goes up to $97. And we don't want this. Like, why pay extra when you just got all the goodies now? Like, I've done that before. They used to be so mad at myself. They're like, yeah, join the conference now, and get this extra stuff for this and this and this. Because come this date, it's gonna go up. And I'm like, I'll get it before it is. Day of the conference comes, I don't have it. I'm saying, dang it. I'm going to introduce all this extra goodie that they didn't talk about prior to, because I didn't invest in myself. So since I didn't invest in myself, they was like, well, since you're not going to invest in yourself, we're going to tell you what you're going to get. And then after, she's like, man, I can always access all this extra stuff. So make sure you purchase your tickets for the Exploring Alignment Conference between now and now. Uncle Romeo caught. Get your tickets between now and okay.
Not now, but right now.
Yeah. Right.
One more thing. One more thing. Go ahead, come on, and get these ATS leads. You know you want them. You know you need them. Come on, stop playing, okay? You know you need these ATS leads, okay? Listen, 10,000 highly customizable leads specifically for your business. Every month, you're getting 10,000 fresh new leads every single month for $49 a month. Come on, y'all. And when you get your leads, you're grandfathered into Rhino Leg. So, hey, come on and get these leads so you can be for leads equal money. And then you're also grandfathered into Rhino Leg. Okay. Jerome is ready. Okay. Jerome is ready for this conference and he's ready for Rhino Leg, okay? With these ATS leads. Y'all better get like Jerome, okay? Okay. Renee is ready too with these ATS leads. So she's ready for Rhino Leg.
Let me tell y'all something. I broke the system twice. Generate leads. It was a whole day. I couldn't do nothing. I was like that. And I reached out to them. I reached out to the tournament like, hey, we stuck out right now. We got about 24 hours. We can't do nothing. It's like, man. It's like, but I'm gonna keep checking. 24 hours. I was out of there. I broke the system. So many people wanted 10,000. I mean, yeah, 10,000. I thought I said 10,000. I broke the system. So that put, I got what, 4 more people? Yeah, 4 more people for this week. No, yeah, so a lot of people will be getting more leads over the weekend. Uncle Ramadan, I think you please for the month of August. So Renee will be getting more. You'll be getting more.
Grace, I mean, not Grace, Fiona.
Yes, sir.
Do you have your noise reduction on your headphones? We're getting a lot of background noise.
Gotcha.
No At least worries. I am. I'm getting a lot of background noise.
I'll swap them out.
While she's swapping, I'll reiterate to y'all. Come on, okay? Don't wait. Stop waiting. You know, you telling yourself right now in your head, I need to go get this ticket to this conference. Go, do it now, okay? Because life is gonna happen, okay?
I got mine. I got mine.
Okay, then Trinace is ready for this conference, okay?
And I have already taken the day off. Adios.
Come on, Trinace.
I went and got Jay a ticket.
No,
I went and got Jay a ticket. I don't have a ticket, but I got Jay one because yeah, here we go. He says put on for the house, so he got his.
Okay. All right. That's it.
So I'll take care of the head of the house. I know the rest of the house is fine.
There you go. All right, D.
How's the sounding?
Oh, it's good.
All right. Just so I can hear y'all. All right. So again, just to there we go. Just to reiterate to everyone, if you want to be an author, but you don't have the time, nor the energy, nor the brain, and this is no diss to nobody, but I wanted to write books for years, and I'm not a structured person. Don't ask me to structure nothing for you. If it's not already a foundation, I can't help you. If you got a foundation, I can add some meat to it. But to structure something, so if you want a book, if you want to be an author, but you don't know how to structure it, you don't know what to talk about. You have an idea of what you want to talk about, but you don't know how to do it. Antonio still has a list of items. So reach out to Grace. If you know someone who they keep saying, man, I want to be an author, man, I want to write a book, but I don't know how to do it. You're like, oh, I got you. You got $100. You got $100 bucks? I got you. I can get you a book. I mean, do your own little side hustle. Be like, you got 150. I can get you a book. Be 50 for yourself as your referral. And go reach out to Grace and be like, Grace, I got somebody who needs a book. But having a book, okay. Having a book is it's not just about being an author. When you have a book, people view you as what's the word I'm looking for? And so you should say the leader in that niche, or the leader in that area. So you can go on interviews discussing your book. You can do keynotes discussing your book. What are the titles there? Grace, do you have a list of titles there? Did he give you a list of titles there?
Yeah, no, he doesn't give titles of the book, but he has categories. There's
That's
self,
what I mean.
there's self-help, there's Christianity, there's Black empowerment.
That's what I
Um,
actually meant because I'm
okay.
considering buying a book or two for my children.
Okay. So yes, ma'am. Self-help, Black empowerment, Christianity, finance, and shucks, there's one more. Hold on. What is it? 'Cause it says self-help already. I'm gonna get that fifth one to you. I'll put them in the chat. Go ahead, D.
Okay, let me pick my phone so I can read it.
When I get it, I'll come back.
So tucked away. Her and Miss Sandra, they be hiding behind stuff. She be having her phone tucked inside her little desk area. All right. So for those of you just joining us, if you want to be an author, if you want a book, but you don't have the time to write it, you don't know how to structure it, you want to write it but don't know exactly what to say. Antonio still has categories available for you. Grace is going to put the categories in the chat for you. If you would like to purchase a book, reach out to Grace. If you know someone who wants to be an author and have a book, but they're in the same category as you, they don't have the time to write it, they don't know how to write it, they don't know how to structure it, help them out. Like, hey, if you give me $100, I'll get you, tell me what category you want your book to be in, I get your book $100. Or
The last one is business.
Business, okay. There we go. So the categories for the books are self-help, Christianity, business, Black empowerment, and finance. And then that leads me to exploring alignment. See, when you are in alignment, you understand, hey, let me go and get a book and put it out there. Because when people Google you, those books are going to come up. I've Googled myself. Oh my, I'm Googleable. Google me. Oh, let me stop. Okay. But no, and your books come up. Your books come up. So do that and become a leader in your niche. Like for some reason, when you write a book and people look you up and you have a book written published, people are more drawn to you. You can build your audience faster, stronger, because they look at you and, okay, you got a book in it. So you're the leader in this. So let me just come to you first. And then that leads you to exploring alignment. When you're in alignment with your purpose, you will understand that, oh, I can't write it, but I know where I can get one that's still in my words, in my voice. I just didn't have to do it. You start thinking like other people. Renee is a ghostwriter, so she understands what I'm talking about. She's like, hey, I ain't got time to do this. Can you do it for me? Hey, I need some blogs. Renee, how much do you charge per blog? There you go. Renee got y'all. Y'all need a blog, Renee got you. But in exploring alignment, it helps you further get to the point where you are in life, where you are creating your reality and not just living in somebody else's creation. And when I say living in somebody else's creation, I'm talking about living in the life your parents created for you, your friends created for you, your environment created for you. When you are in full alignment with yourself, you begin to create the life you want. I have watched Antonio do this. From watching him on Facebook, just following how he has progressed. And he's created his reality every step of the way. And then when he got to a point where he's like, okay, I'm no longer creating a reality where I'm taking care of everybody. I'm now creating a reality where I'm taking care of me, and my overflow takes care of everyone else around me. And that is how he is creating, and I'm watching it unfold. When you are in alignment, the world moves, so the universe makes a way for you. But there's also a factor of inconsistency. Inconsistency is a part of life. Antonio tells us all the time. The moment you make a decision, you automatically create the opposite. Contrast has to happen. But instead of us, you're welcome. Instead of us getting stuck and living in the contrast, you need to start focusing on staying focused. So today I want to talk to everyone about embracing the unpredictable. How many of you, in some shape, form, or fashion, something unpredictable has happened to you your entire life? I'm the only one who's had unpredictability. Stuff I can't predict, that's what happens.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I didn't hear you at first. That's why I was like, wait.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, you good. I hear you. That's me too.
Like you have unpredictable births, unpredictable deaths, unpredictable events, like the car is not starting, or lights getting turned off, or cars getting stolen. Those are unpredictable things. But your spiritual path, on your spiritual path, you are encouraged to surrender to the unpredictability of life. If one car stops, maybe it's because you need a new one. Or maybe it's because that car no longer serves you because of the vibration you were in when you purchased it. And now that you are in a different vibration, that requires for a different reason. These things do happen. There are things that I had prior to, like things within like the last 2 years. I've broken legs. I'm sitting here like, for real? But in the vibration in which I purchased these items in, they broke because I was no longer in that vibration. I had a whole vacation planned 1 year, but because I was out of that vibration, everything that could have possibly gone wrong went wrong. Somebody who stayed prior to me going had COVID, so they couldn't rent out the house to me. There were no other hotels available in the city. Really? It's a whole city and you have no availability? Well, within my price range, let me rephrase, within my price range. Because I wasn't trying to pay $200 a night. We ain't doing that. I'm trying to pay $200 a stay, okay? Like everything. So, but that was unpredictability. I wasn't able to predict that. Do y'all think I predicted the birth of my child? No. He was a wow. Something's wrong with me. Why am I still so hungry? I just ate like 2 minutes ago. It was a lot going on in the bed. It was a lot. Like in one day, I ate like 5 different meals back to back to back, and I'm still hungry. So much so I almost started crying, and my brother laughed. He was like, "Are you pregnant?" And I'm like, "No." That was unpredictable. That was not planned. He's not an accident. He was looking at plan. Okay. But that me accepting and embracing that, and then us accepting and embracing the inconsistent nature of just existing, period, you create a sense of openness and trust in the greater forces in the universe, in God. Like, think about it. Exodus 14:14. Because life is so freaking unpredictable. If I just let God fight my battles, which is cultivating a sense of openness and trust in God and in the universe, And I just sit down, shut up, and just do my work. So when I'm called, I'm ready. Then anything is possible. I have learned that the inconsistencies in life, it really is all about how you perceive them. It really is. You can take it and be open and learn from it, or you can take it, not be open, and feel like you're being attacked all the time, and now you're just living victim. You're victim every single day of your life. Victims don't really get caught, but the ones that are open and understanding it and knowing that every time something hits me, what lesson do I need to learn from it? Learn it and move on. They grow, they prosper. So today I want to ask everyone, this is question for everyone. How can we develop trust and surrender to the unpredictability of it? That there's different ways to do it, but I want to, because I have 7 different ways that I will give to you guys. But I want to ask you first, how have you developed a trust in your faith, your God, and have surrendered to the inconsistencies or the unpredictability of life?
Okay. So yeah, I had to hear the question like 2-3 times so I could think. The second part was, if you surrender to the unpredictability, because Antonio keep talking about it. We've all prayed for something, but it didn't happen and come in the way that we prayed for it. You know, if you prayed to get a house, it didn't come the way you wanted it to, but the house came. Okay. So it's going to be unpredictable, but you have to trust that the house is coming. Yesterday I was talking to Antonio. He called me to give feedback on yesterday's call. And I was telling him, man, you broke it down really good, because all this time, we've been taught, hey, pray. Yeah, pray for what you want. But yes, pray that one time and then know that it's coming. So because you know it's coming, just go in and praise your way through it. Okay. Praise because it's coming, what you pray for is coming. I say, you just broke that down. He said, yeah, your hair grows, doesn't it? I was like, yeah. And it's growing, right? Yeah. But you really can't see that it's growing every day. No. He said, the punchline was, he said, I don't know why we trust our hair more than we trust God. I said, wait a minute, sir. Okay, wrong. Okay, Renee. Okay, Deanna. That was the face. So you show right, sir. You show right. So, okay, when the unpredictable things of life happen, you know that, please, okay? Okay, I want to call him another name, but we're going to keep it that, sir. All right. So, but when the unpredictable happens and we know that we know it. No, we don't know that what's going to be unpredictable is going to happen, but we know, something's bound to happen. But you know that you've gotten through it before. He's brought you through it before. He's brought you through the unpredictability before, whatever it was. So when it comes again, you're like, okay, good Lord, got a flat tire, man. Okay, yeah. But yeah, throw a little monkey wrench in my plan, but I know it's gonna get fixed. So we get a little bump in the road, but we're gonna keep going, because we'll get over this hump, and then we keep moving towards on our path to the destination we're bound to go for. I know it's easier said than done, but it's literally what you have to do. You have to trust that it's going to get done. Yes, okay. The flat tire probably saved you from an accident, right? And like a lot of times we'll be late to stuff. We're like, man, if I'd just gotten up earlier, but something could have been happening out there to where God said, you know what? No, it's not time for you to come up here today. So I'm gonna get you late. Keep you late, make you late for this, or whatever. But surrendering to you have to just embrace it. Okay, this happened. Don't get all out of sorts. Just me, I am the panic queen. Deanna knows. She said my breath changes. My breath will change. Girl, you breathe. Stop it. Just calm down. I can hear it in you breathing. So I've been learning. Okay, hey, okay, calm down. And it happens. It happens especially because I consider Antonio my boss. Now he always says, "No, you don't work for me. You work with me." I get it, but you're a person of authority in my brain, and so when a person of authority gets that tone, I'll be like, "Oh, okay, hold on." D would text me, "Calm down, girl. Calm down. It's okay." He'll even tell me, "Hey, I'm not getting on you," because he knows that I panic. But I've just been telling myself, okay, yeah, girl, stop tripping. Your birthday is tomorrow. That's what I've been telling myself all week. Girl, your birthday is Saturday. What you doing? Your birthday is Saturday. And everybody knows on your birthday, you don't worry about nothing. And Antonio used to tell us, hey, treat every day as your birthday. Treat every day like it's your birthday. Because when it's your birthday, you don't trip because you expect people to give you gifts. You expect people to tell you happy birthday. You expect people to give you money. So treat every day as if it's your birthday. When the unpredictability happens, it's all right. It's my birthday. Something good gonna happen today. So embrace the unpredictability. Okay, this happened. How am I feeling about this? Okay, yes, I embrace this feeling. I'm a little annoyed about this, but we got to let that go so that we can continue to have a great day. Okay, and like Deanna said, what can I learn from this? What should I learn from this right here? What's the lesson? Learn the lesson, keep it moving so you can get to your next unpredictable thing that's gonna happen. Okay, but it's all the unpredictability is all a part of life. What Antonio was telling us yesterday, you came down here to ascend. So the unpredictability has to happen so that you can ascend. So we just got to trust that, hey, okay, yeah, in order for me to get to the next level, I'll get to my next thing, my next best move. Learn this lesson, keep it moving. Thanks for letting me share, Dee.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you very much for sharing. So there's something I want to not bringing up sad events, but bringing it up to make a point. When 9/11 happened, there were a lot of people that were supposed to be in those buildings that weren't. And they weren't in those buildings because it was too early. They weren't in those buildings because they had taken off that day. A lot of them weren't in those buildings because something happened, something unpredictable happened to them that made them late for work. That unpredictability saved their lives. So when you're late for work, how many of y'all have something happened in the morning, you were late, slowed you down, like you woke up late, you rushing around the house, you had to stop to get gas, flat tires, water pressure not right, shower not getting, like so much stuff happened that slowed you down. And then on your way to work, you hit traffic, only to find out 2 miles up with a major car accident. And if you would have left your house at the time you scheduled yourself to leave your house, you would have been in that accident. So it all boils down to your perception, how you view things. Because me, I would have been cussing, I would have been rushing, my attitude would have been bad, So I'm running late. Now I'm stuck in this traffic. I don't feel like dealing with my supervisor. I don't feel like this. I don't feel like that. Da 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 da. The old me. I would have yelled at Don, rushing him, getting angry at him, mad at myself. Then I would have stumped my toe. That would have made it worse because when you're rushing in the morning, you end up hitting your toe. It's like it has to happen type of thing because you're rushing, you're not paying attention. You're bound to forget something. So my whole day would have just been, it would have been horrible. But I have learned how to take my time, no matter what. I'm still gonna get to my destination. I may get there a little late, but I'm still gonna get there. Like this morning, I knew I should have been up at probably about like 5 o'clock. Did that happen? Oh. But see, now I have to work on my son's perception of things because he woke up this morning and was, it's too bright, the light's too bright. And I have to break it down to my sister. We have done the same thing every morning since school has started. The only reason you are complaining is because you're sleeping. Can you give me a little credit and understand that mom is not dumb? I know what's wrong with you. Be tired. So this is what we're gonna do this morning. You're gonna suck it up, you're gonna get dressed, and then you can lay back down after you put your clothes on. Did I get any other rebuttal from him after that? Nope. I had to work on his perception. I get what you're going through. Because I get what you're going through. If you just stop complaining about the situation, I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna do. If y'all will give God and the universe a little credit, he will tell you what he gonna do if you stop complaining. So,
Watch it.
when you late for work, don't complain. Be still in your mind so he can tell you, hey, I know you're gonna be late, but just know I know what I'm doing. I'm preventing you from being a part of a car accident. I'm preventing you from having to deal with certain issues before you get to work this morning. Because right now, your boss is on a rampage, and if you are late, you won't be there. And by the time you get there, your boss will have calmed down so you can have a decent conversation. I understand that you had a doctor's appointment, but in walk to your doctor's appointment, there's a huge car accident. I'm going to make you a little late for your doctor's appointment, or I'm going to wake you up at Jesus o'clock so you're already awake and decide that you're going to leave a little early to get to your doctor's appointment so you can avoid. I'm going to wake you up early so you can avoid being in a car accident. It's all about your perception. So who else can tell me how you developed trust and have learned how to surrender to the unpredictability of life? Because every single one of you on the call.
Hey, Johanna.
Go ahead.
Good morning. You're still muffled a little bit, but I hear you, but it's a little muffled. But here's what I'm going to say. I don't really know how to answer to that particular part of your question, but to me, unpredictability is predictable. I know that sounds crazy, but think about it. Think about it. You know, sometime, somewhere, something's going to happen that you didn't expect to happen. You just know. You don't know when. You don't know why. You don't know where. You don't know how. But it's going to happen. So predict something's going to happen that you didn't plan on. Prepare your brain to say, when it happens, I might nut up for a minute, might get mad for a second, but then I'm going to say, okay, it's happening. How am I going to sit in this, what's happening, and be okay with it? So it's predictable. Something is going to go wrong at maybe not the opportune time, and move on. It just is. So it is predictable, and know that you, me, and nobody else is immune to it. It's going to happen to everybody. So predict it. Just know you don't know when it's going to happen.
That wasn't perfectly awesome. Thank you so much, Miss Adonia, because the unpredictability in life is predictable. You know, when your parents used to tell you, save your money for a rainy day. The rainy day is the unpredictable. Your parents are telling you, hey, some stuff is gonna happen. Go ahead, have a stash, put away. So when it does happen, you good. Go ahead, Talisha.
I like what Adonia said, because in the midst of what I'm going through, it's just like I'm not stressed. I'm at peace, because at the end of the day, the unpredictable, I already know back in my head, God already got a plan, and whatever that plan is, that's what I'm going to lean on. And then every once in a while, that Leisha pop in and be like, you ain't gonna make a move. You be doing things your way. And I gotta be like, no, Leisha, sit down. This we need to trust God at this moment, because he has a plan and he never failed you once. And basically what Antonio said yesterday about looking back at what he has done for me and all the shady or the quickness of how he do things. And you be like, I wouldn't have thought of that. So thanks for bringing that up, Adonia. That made me remember why I'm always at peace and stuff. And most people like, did you apply for this? Did you apply for that? And I'm just like, I'm doing what I can, but this is what my goal is. And if that don't align with my goal, I'm not doing it. I'm no longer going to align myself to things that don't match up with what is my desire. So.
I'd like to say something too, if that's okay. You guys remember the thing that I was talking about the last time, about that one thing that bugged me or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, I really need to know how to handle this. You know what I mean? So this morning I was, getting things together before I had to go out, and I was listening to TD Jakes. And he was talking about the weeds and the wheat. You pull up one and you destroy the other or whatever, So I'm like, okay, this one thing that's bothering me like this. I said, is it worth it, or what is this? You know what I mean? And then I was listening to him, and it was like, you need to just kind of be still. And just let this work, let me work it out or whatever. And, come to find out, I'm like, okay, I'm just trying to push away from this one little thing. Why? Because of my own ways, my own, I'm impatient or whatever it is. And it was like, he was saying, you know what, just be yourself still, because you're about to mess up the best blessing in your life, and a big development deal for this property and everything is getting ready to happen. And I'm trying to run away. Because of my own how it's got to be this way, it's got to be that, and finna miss out on my own blessings. So, it's amazing when you do sit still and listen. You know what I mean? And when, talking to you guys about it, and, Antonio was saying, that's all it is. That's it. That's my man. That's, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I just decided to sit still and put that behind me and just let it work. Let it work out how it's going to work out. So yeah.
Come on now, Miss Jenny.
Can I ask Miss Janice something? This is off topic, but I'm looking at your background. Do you make dolls, or is that just collections?
That's collections for my grandchildren. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what, Talisha? That's the first. I used to think they were books. I never paid attention to what was actually in her background. I used to
I
think
did
those were like
too. I thought they were books
books.
too.
They're dolls. I antique shop a lot, and I have a granddaughter that's 23 and two grandsons, and whatever I collect or whatever is going into the estate, and it's for them. So yeah, I love doing it though, first of all.
My mom does angels. My grandmother started it off. My mom has continued it, and she has told me, "You better not let nothing happen to these angels." I was like, "Yes, ma'am," because it's in a whole Cheerio, whatever those things are called. All right, we got some conversation this morning. So how have you developed trust and surrender to the unpredictability of life? Me, I'm gonna tell y'all, Exodus 14:14. That's how I do it. I am 2 months old into this, okay? This has not been a lifetime practice. I am 2 months into this. Exodus 14:14 is how I have developed trust and I have surrendered to the unpredictability of life. Now, I'm not going, I will be transparent with y'all. It has not been easy because this thought process is so used to thinking a certain way. System is down again. Okay. This thought process of mine is so used to thinking certain thoughts. I literally have to stop and have a conversation with myself and be like, can we stop? Like, can we not do this today? I don't like, I have to tell myself, I don't want to do this. So stop. Have a conversation with me. I say, I understand how you feeling right now. I'm acknowledge the fact that this is how you feeling. But what we not gonna do is create a whole day based off this emotion. We're not doing that today. And now what I've started doing is I'll shorten that conversation to that's not my battle. That I have shortened it to that is not my battle. That's how I have developed trust when I have surrendered to the unpredictability of life. It's not my battle. And y'all, I even have to do it with my kid, even though he's 8. I have to tell myself, that's not your battle. And when I tell myself that's not my battle, for him, I tell myself that's not your battle. Teach him how to do better. I told Antonio last night because Don has anger issues. Grace and Antonio know how deep his anger issues run. And now I have to teach him how to attract better. How to attract. I think somebody came to work today that ain't been to work for a long time, y'all. I think that's what they'll kill us for. I'm so sorry. That was such a sidebar. That was sarcastic shit. Okay. So now what I have to do is I have to teach them. So yesterday when Antonio said, I can't remember how he broke it down, but he was teaching yesterday. He was teaching us like gratitude of praise. And oh, I got it in my notes out. I have to, because this helped me give Thanksgiving for each moment, because Thanksgiving is the shield to negativity and the fuel to positivity. What I got from that was, oh, so you telling me all I gotta do is give praises and my life will be better? Because if it shields the negative and it fuels the positive, one action does 2 things and my life is good. That's all. So now I know when I teach Dawn, all I have to teach him is just be grateful. Give praise. When you wake up in the morning, be happy. We had a praise session in the car. I need to find out what that song was, Grace, because the first song was Revival.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the one I found was not the same version. So I have to look at it. But it was called Revival. It had Tasha Cobbs in it. So that started off the praise. You listen to Joy by Pharrell Williams. Good chip chip when the
That's a
beat
good
drop.
song. Yes.
When the beat drop. But I'm teaching him praise and then breaking it down to him because I need him to start attracting better. Because I know better, I need to do better. Now I have to teach him, you know better, you do better. So how I have developed trust and surrendered to unpredictability is Exodus 14:14 and praise. Them two right there. I let God fight my battles, sit down and shut up until he called me. And in the meantime, do my job and give praise. And when you make stuff that simple, sometimes it's like it can't be that simple. It can't be that simple. When Antonio told us what he told us yesterday about gratitude, I was like, it can't be that simple. Are you serious? You gotta be kidding me. Come on now. Why they ain't teach me this in church? Church would have been a lot different. The church would have been a lot different. If church, you know what, we should have church that's just praise and worship. You just go just to praise. That's it. If praise and gratitude changes and fixes all your problems, then we shouldn't have sad moments in church. We should go have praise and worship the whole time. The pastor actually teaches from the Bible. I probably get stones thrown at me for that, but don't look at me like that, Grace. I mean, we go like that sounds like that, you know. So who else? Who hosts? What have you done to develop trust and surrender to the unpredictability of life, or just develop or let me switch up the question now. How can we develop trust and surrender to the unpredictability of life? And I'm gonna give you 7 ways, but I want to see what you guys say first. Go ahead, Talisha.
I'm just going to break down my routine that kind of helped me. God is doing it again to me, waking me up at 3. So it's just like he'll bang something or make a loud noise for me to like, okay, it's time to get up. There's no alarm setting. I just look at time. Oh, it's time to get up. So I get up. I immediately go into worship, like Deanna was saying, listen to some type of music, or right after that, I read the scripture, right? And then I go straight into prayer. I don't know if that's the right way to do it, but that's just what I do. And then after I do that, I will meditate for a little bit. And it's just like, for me, I may not hear him, but he's been throwing signs at me, not voices, but signs. And I know Deanna was talking about the chakras. And for me, I don't even know if I could say this out loud. I don't really know, but it's my third eye and my hands and my heart. Those are the ones that are touched the most when I'm in meditation. And then I feel like I'm going somewhere, but I'm sitting, if that makes sense. I don't even know how to explain it, y'all. But the power is just, y'all ever watch Goku? Y'all know about Dragon Ball Z? So I feel like Goku sometimes when my hands just light up. And there's this thriving sensation in my hand and in my heart and in my third eye. And I'm just gone somewhere, but I don't know where this place is. I'm just somewhere high, if that makes sense. I'm still trying to learn and understand that. I don't know if that's a part of channeling or what it is, but it's baby steps with me. So as I was stating, the prayer, the getting up when God says to get up, the praying, thanking him for when he wakes you up too, because that's also, I guess, for me, like a communication. Let him know I get it. This is what you want me to do. So being obedient, praying, meditating, and then after that, reading his word. And sometimes y'all reading his word, sometimes I feel like I'm in school and I was like, I just don't want to do this. I feel like I'm in a social studies class. I don't want to do this. But it helps. And I notice when I allow myself to do that, a message may pop up in the word, or a message may pop up when I watch a YouTube video or something. In fact, I was looking at my old YouTube videos the other day on my website. And I was just like, Talisha, you were so young. And oh my gosh, like I felt like my creativity was there when I did it. And now I'm back at it. But it takes all of this, all the behind the scenes work to be done so that you can create again. Because there was a moment when my creativity shut off for a bit. I felt like I was blocked. I wanted it back, but I didn't know how to obtain it back. So doing those things, this morning, I dropped my daughter off. I went for a jog. I love to run, y'all. I went for a jog. That helps also with my energy. So I do that. Sometimes like exercising also helps with getting your chakras in line. And then after you sit down, do your yoga, because I do yoga sometimes, and then you go into meditation mode, then more downloads can happen to you. But mine's happen throughout the day, guys. It's no joke. It's just like, I look at the time and it's like, oh, or I could be worried about something and then a message pop up to me like, you're on the right track. Deanna, yesterday, I think after I talked to you, and I think I was going in panic mode because all the stuff that we were talking about that I need to do, right? And I was like, I know I got it. So I had all the stuff that you was telling me to do. I just need to find where it was at, right? And so in the midst of that, I was like, I started going back to the kitty way of, I can't do this. Like just throwing a temper tantrum at myself. It's like, and then a sign came to me and it said, Talisha, I'm just gonna share y'all with one. I always get the sign, you're on the right track. Stay on your path, stay on your goal. I get that told to me all the time. And when I be like, well, can I go do this and do it? Stay on the path, you're on the right track. Angels are guarding you. Like I get all these little signs. So I know, and I feel comfortable in the messages that I'm getting. And I should just stay on the course that God has laid out for me. So yeah, that's what happens. And then at nighttime, I kind of do the same thing, but instead of jogging or exercising, I tend to do yoga, a more relaxed state to get my mind ready for bed. So that's routine you wanted to share.
No, that's wonderful. That is wonderful. I wish my morning was as structured as that. Well, going off what Talisha said, she pretty much covered quite a few of the 7 things that I was going to tell you on how you can develop trust and surrender to the unpredictability of life. The first one is mindfulness and presence. Practicing mindfulness helps you stay grounded in the present moment. If Talisha was not grounded in the present moment, she would not be receiving her downloads. She would not be receiving her messages because she was not present. And Tony always tells us, be present where your feet are. By focusing on the here and now, you can reduce anxiety about the future and build a greater capacity to accept whatever arises. So if you, Mr. Phil has said it to us before, but we in his way, because Mr. Phil be dropping nuggets and it don't come out no other way. He has a different way of delivering things, but it's yesterday is the past, tomorrow's the future, but today is called the present because it's a gift. So if you enjoy the gift of the present, of the here and the now, be in the moment, you won't stress about tomorrow. We always say, well, tomorrow's not promised, but we don't live like it. We live like 10 years down the line is promised us. But if we actually live like tomorrow is not guaranteed, can you imagine the possibilities? Can you imagine all of the stuff that you would do in one day? The love that you would give to your family in one day, the love you would give to yourself in one day if you actually believe that tomorrow is not promised. If you stay grounded in the present, the future will not stress you. I have a cousin, and years ago, we were standing out on his balcony, and we were talking about the future. And I said, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that, and I have this lined out, and I have that lined out. And I looked at him and I said, what about you? He looked at me and he said, I think it's great that you have all these plans for the future. He said, but what's wrong with just living day by day, not planning anything for the future, but just enjoying each day as it comes? And I looked at him and I said, you sure right. To this day, every time I talk to him, he does not complain. He's always asking how I'm doing. And him and his little sister, they're roommates. They always have this. They have this mentality of whatever you got going on, leave at the door. Do not bring it in here, because we don't do that. So if you got a problem with somebody, leave it at the. No ma'am, no ma'am, no ma'am. I'm talking about my cousin. I'm talking about my cousin and his little sister. Don has a little sister, but Antonio's youngest daughter. But I ain't birthed another one. I'm not birthing another one. But he says, whatever you got going on, whatever drama you living in your life, whatever you stress about, whatever you worried about, leave it at the door, because that's not our vibration in this house. And he's been living that way for the last 2.5 decades. So for 25 years, that's how he's been living. The second one is adaptability. Embrace change as a natural part of life. Build that flexibility and the willingness to adapt to new circumstances. And this will help you navigate unpredictability with more ease. I took the Strength Finder test. And in my top 5 strengths, one is adaptability. But there's a certain way to utilize your adaptability. Well, not a certain way, but you can either be adaptable in your struggle, or you can be adaptable in your abundance.
You better
Depends
watch
on how
yourself.
you view it.
You better watch yourself.
Being adaptable, because I've been both. Being adaptable in my struggle is staying in a toxic relationship past its season. It's having friends past their seasons. It's being a victim at all times and adapting to being a victim. I don't know what to tell you. But when I became adaptable in my abundance, I'm sitting here with you guys on a Friday morning at 9:05 a.m. when majority of people are sitting in an office somewhere, clocked in on somebody else's clock, doing somebody else's work, contributing to somebody else's abundance, stressed out. Thank you. Thank you, Talisha. Stressed out. Adaptability is the greatest thing on earth, depending on your mindset. I had to learn that one the hard way. Thanks to Antonio. Yeah. A lot of things I learned the hard way. And a lot of wrinkles. Renee, that is so true. That is so true. Did you know that your weight can also be contributed to your mindset and your adaptability? See, I adapted to my environment by stress eating and emotionally eating. And it started in kindergarten. It could be 56 degrees outside. If I had a bad day at school, you will find me on my grandmother's front porch with some Neapolitan ice cream. Only the vanilla and the chocolate, because I really want a strawberry candy at the time. Shh, I know, Grace. I know. And my grandmother would come out and she'd be like, "You okay?" "Yes, ma'am." And she'd be like, "Why you eat ice cream in the cold?" "Because I wanted to sit outside." I was stress eating. I was emotionally eating as a child. That's how I adapted to the stress in my life. That's how I adapted to the unpredictability of my life. But had I been taught at a young age, don't eat your miserability, meditate, pray, praise, like Antonio said, just praise. Yeah, that was the greatest lesson I ever learned. If I would have just came back to my grandmother's house and went outside and played, because playing was my praise. Completely different outcome. Completely different. Go ahead, Felicia.
Getting to the unmute button is hard, y'all. Y'all know how it is. So I had a manager one time, and she wanted me to sit right beside her. So we would sit by each other. And one day she felt like she had to puke, y'all. And she was like, "My stomach hurt, and I was just like, "Is there anything I can do?" Just being considered, trying to find out what I can do, because one, I don't want you to puke on me, because then we both gonna be puking, because I don't do good with that type of stuff. So she was like, "No, I'm good." She said, "It must be because downstairs we had like this cafeteria where you go and get some food or whatever." And so she had picked some stuff that was bad, and so she ate it. She's like, "Yeah, that burrito didn't sit well with me." And I was just like, she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go home," right? But she never left. I was going by, she never left. She's still complaining about her stomach. And I looked beside me, she's still chewing on food. So I was just like, she emotionally eating at this point, because she was nibbling. And then I brought it to her teacher. I was just like, "Hey, your stomach hurt, right?" She was like, "It does." And I'm still over here nibbling. She laughed it off. And I was just like, yeah, but I didn't want to tell her, like, I think that's, you're emotionally eating, because one, she was stressed out. I know that for sure, because that job requires you to be fast paced constantly. So she didn't want her boss. First of all, I think it was like how do you call it? When your boss expects you to get your work done before you leave. And she had a team to run, which was us. So she was trying to make sure she was completing everything the boss told her to do before she go home and take care of herself. If my stomach hurting, I'm curling up, that's this job. I'm going to go home, and I don't care what my manager say. If I ask you and you tell me I can't leave, okay, I'll see you tomorrow. That's what's gonna happen. We're not gonna argue. You're gonna see me go get my bags and I'm leaving. But some people, they don't know how to say no or stop or put boundaries on people. Yes, you're my boss, but hey, I'm not feeling well. I know we got tons of payroll we got to get done. People got to get paid. That's what you got leads for. Put them in place, delegate tasks. So then you can go home and take care of yourself. Because if you don't take care of yourself, how you gonna come back here tomorrow? How you gonna take care of your family? You know what I mean? So I felt like that moment I saw her emotionally eating, and I don't know what it was, but I think it was the stress that was making her eat more. Because, you know, we'll grab a piece of chocolate quick and go start eating it, knowing we don't need it. I feel like that's my weakness is chocolate. After I eat, my daughter said, "Mommy, why you always go get some sweets, you know, like some chocolate?" I was like, I just love chocolate, but I know it's not good. Instead of picking up some chocolate, you should go get you some fruit. Okay.
And that's actually what I started doing. Instead of eating a Mrs. Bear's apple pie or a piece of strawberry cake from Walmart, I eat some cantaloupe, some oranges, some watermelon, some mango. Go ahead, Renee.
It's easy to at times to emotionally eat, because I know when I worked for defects in foster care, it was like, especially when a kid came into care and you had to find housing for that baby, or I got finished with training and 5 kids came into care, and guess who was next on the list? Having to find housing, having to do all the paperwork, get ready for court for the 72-hour hearing, all of that stuff in a matter of minutes. And so it was easy to at times to emotionally eat. And you know, they kept people would bring food in, you know, and it was like, oh, and my office was actually not too far from the break room. I mean, you could go in there and be like, oh, somebody brought in donuts today. Somebody brought in cake today. Somebody brought in something. And, you know what I'm saying? And you could really kind of grab something, go back to the office because you knew you was going to be in there. You wasn't going to come up for air anytime soon. But I remember when kids would pick on me and I would get off of the bus, you guys. Oh gosh, I would get off of the bus and there was Capri Pizza right across the street when I got off of the bus. Capri Pizza is probably one of the best places in Akron. I would go and get me pizza by the slice and get me some pizza. Go 2 doors down to go to Platinum Dragon to get me some shrimp egg fouillon. That's how you know. Then go all the way up to Walgreens to get me some orange crush, and then I walked home. Did I share it with my mother? Of course not. Who would do such a thing? But you know what I'm saying? I emotionally ate a lot because people was saying so many things, and I was like, shoot, I don't know what to do with this. I'm just gonna eat. And I watched me blimp up bigger than the Goodyear blimp. I watched it quick, really quick. And even now I have to be careful. If I'm feeling a certain way, I'm like, Renee, you know you ain't hungry. You just ate. Okay, you just eating. You just trying to eat because you know it's there. And so I have to be like, that's that trauma that's just kind of merged up on you, but you ain't hungry, girl. You know you ain't hungry. You just ate you some fruit, or you know, or if you're hungry, go ahead and eat you an apple, drink you some water, go for a walk, because that's not what we doing, because you got goals right now. You got goals and that's not gonna help you. Because I did it for years. And I'm a equal opportunity person when it comes to sweets, you know what I'm saying? Except for strawberries. I can't eat. I'm sorry. I've seen people do the cakes with fresh strawberries and they put in that gelatin. That look like some sugar diabetes to me. It just don't look right. But if it's cookies and cake, hey, I'm an equal opportunity person. I don't discriminate. Did I just rhyme? That doesn't matter. But but you have to really be careful, because those traumas, those different things that you went through, it can still spark up into your adult life. And if you don't do something about that, you could end up either 1,000 pounds or you could end up in an early grave because you're letting it dictate how you're going to live. And anything you give that kind of power, it's not going to end well. It's not going to end well at all for you. So I'm grateful that it's easy for me to spot it now. It's real easy for me to spot it because I'm like, nope. Like Jay got a bunch of cookies in the refrigerator right now. And I'm like, and I know they're there, but I'm like, nope, because you got goals, Renee. If Jay wants to eat them, that's all him. But that ain't got nothing to do with me. It's all him. But
That ain't so bad.
hey, it's all him. I can't. I mean, he's got his goals, but I got mine, and I'm gonna be stingy about them because I have to. If I don't look out for what I'm supposed to be doing each and every day, it's not going to be anybody's fault. If my belly starts getting bigger and bigger, and I look like I'm pregnant, and I'm not, that ain't cool. But we have to make sure we handle those things before it handles us, and it ain't going to be good. Thanks for letting me share.
No, thank you for sharing. Go ahead, Felicia.
I wanted to say what tell Renee, y'all realize that every time somebody else emotionally, they be trying to invite you in. You want some of this? And I just feel like it always happens.
I'm bored.
I be like, no, I don't. No, thank you. And they look at me crazy, but I just like, I'm not going on a journey with you. I also want to mention another thing that helps when we're going through these emotional things, and something I also teach when I'm teaching etiquette is EFT tapping. That helps a lot for every emotion that you're going through. And then on top of that, rituals of cleansing your body, whether it's in the tub or in the shower. That's why I was doing my bubble bath yesterday, y'all, while y'all was just like, turn your camera on. I was doing my cleansing because I was just like, yeah, it's about time to do one. And you could do it once or twice a month, or sometimes it could be regular. It's just how quickly you try to manifest things in your life, or trying to get some trauma built stuff off of you, And so to get unstuck is good to find those type of rituals to do to cleanse that energy off. And then every time somebody brings something your way and you can feel that energy, for me, I can feel that energy. Okay, I'm about to go clean that off because that ain't mine. So that helps. And they also say it's good to do it outside too, like at a walk while you're walking or something, because that energy you're releasing, you're not bringing it back in your household. It's out there in the atmosphere. It doesn't come with you. So just wanted to bring it up.
No, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. I love a good soap. Trust me. By the time I get through, the water is a different color from all of the herbs and flowers that I'm putting in. But no, thank you all for sharing. Thank you all for sharing, which leads me to the next thing in developing trust and surrender. Letting go of control. Letting go of control. When I tell you Exodus 14:14, I'm gonna get that tattooed on me. Actually, I'm gonna get it tattooed somewhere, like on my wrist or something, so I can look at it. I can be like, let me remind myself, because letting go of control. Exodus 14:14. God said He will fight my battle, and for me to sit down, shut up, and wait to be called on. If that ain't letting go of control, I don't know what is. Because in order for me to let Him fight my battles, I have to let stuff go. I literally have to just be like, that ain't my battle. I no longer have battles. The only thing that when you said control, I thought, control. Okay. Come on, Miss Jenny. But no, see, like, the only battle that I have now is retraining my subconscious mind. That's the only battle I have. Because once I master it, it automatically flows to Dom. But I have to let go of, Dom is 8. I have to let go of control of my 8-year-old. I can't control an 8-year-old. He makes his own decisions. He has his own consequences. I can't control his decisions. I can't control his consequences. I can't do any of that. But me letting go of control puts me in the most control ever. Because I'm into it. If I can't control it, if it's not something that I can control, like my attitude, my thought process, my mindset, how I react, if it's not any of that, it's not my battle. Therefore, I'm taking my hands off because I don't need to control the situation. I don't need to control what Grace does. Grace is a grown woman. I don't need to control what Talisha does. Talisha grown with kids. I don't need to control what Renee do. Renee got a whole husband. I don't need to control what Mr. Phil do. Mr. Phil is old enough to be my dad. He is my dad's age. Right? What I look like? I'm trying to control grown men and women and can't control myself. So that's the problem with us. We be trying to control everybody else and not have control of ourselves. Emotional damage. I'm sorry. It's something that popped up on social media. Uncle Rummy Rum. I saw his eyes when I did it. The crazy thing is, I got it from Don. He was watching something and the dude came on. I was like, emotional damage. And I'm like, wait, what you watching?
I love that. It's on TikTok. It's genius.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. The thing about it, if you let go of control, actually let the laws of the universe work in your favor because you are working with the laws and not against the laws, life will be so much better. So much better. And then the other way to develop trust and surrender is to have self-compassion. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding. Understand that you are just a big kid. That's it. Even though Uncle Ronnie Ron is old enough to be my dad, he's still a big kid. He's still growing and learning every single day, just like me. In the words of Antonio T. Smith Jr., take it easy on yourself. He tells me that quite often, so that's why I'm sharing it with you. Take it easy on yourself. We are not perfect. We are perfectly imperfect, and that is perfectly okay. So be nice to yourself. Go have your long soaks. Go for a walk. Buy yourself something nice. Go buy yourself a pair of diamond earrings. Just say it. Go buy yourself a tennis bracelet. Go buy yourself a car. Or just go buy yourself some flowers. But take it easy on yourself. Have better understanding. The same understanding you show for others, the same compassion you show for others, show to yourself. If somebody makes a mistake and you easily forgive them, forgive yourself. If you want to cuss somebody out, but you decide to hold your tongue with yourself. Don't cuss yourself out either. Have compassion for yourself. Go ahead, Renee.
Okay. You had mentioned something about here we go. About control. And it's I was like, it's really draining. It's incredibly draining when you are like, okay, everything's gotta be like this. Gotta be like this, be like this. Oh gosh, okay, I need to control everything around me. And I'm like, whoo, Jesus, the whole thing is starting to give me a headache because it's a lot. It's a lot. And then I realized too, there should be a freedom in just being who you are and who people are around you. Don't be trying to control, because when you start controlling, that's not flowing how God flows, because God flows with love. So it's you're really contradicting who God is, because God is love. We're supposed to show love not through control, but through love, through how we treat other people, helping them to be who they are and not who we want them to be. And that is such a huge thing, because I feel like we can't love other people because we're too busy trying to control them, too busy trying to tell them how they need to love us, how they need to, we too busy doing all that. You're not truly being loved because you're trying to control everything. I can't tell Jay how he needs to love me. I love doing acts of service for him. That works because that's actually what he really needs from me. Am I necessarily an acts of service? I'm more quality time. But if he does acts of service, that's fine. But I can't tell him how he's supposed to love me. I can't tell Deanna, okay, you supposed to, you're gonna love me by giving me a check for $250 million. I can't tell her that, because I'm losing out on how she is choosing to love me. I'm losing out. And as long as it's not unhealthy, she ain't trying to beat me up with a with a baseball bat, thank God. Cause I love Deanna, but she try to come at me, man. I'm going for the jugular. But but it's we have to let people love. I spent some years really thinking my dad never loved me, but then I realized my dad loved me, but he just didn't love me in the way that I thought that he was supposed to love me. My dad actually was like, told me, Renee, I'm proud of you. Renee, he told me that once. He told me he loved me once. But he showed me in other ways. He showed me love, but not in the way that Renee thought, oh, he must not love me because he's not doing it like my mother did it. That's some BS. You lose out on the beauty when you're trying to control. And it is, ooh, I ain't trying to have no more headaches. I've already had some headaches in my life, but I'm not trying to be like, well, you gotta love me this way. You miss out. You truly miss out. And I ain't doing none of that foolishness. I did it for a long time. It's no more time for that. It's just at this point, it's all about ebb and flow. It's all about, okay, all right, I see how you are loving me. I'm still gonna love you in this way because this is how I know I can, that's how I know that I can love. But I'm not gonna be like, okay, well, you must not care. Talisha don't love me no more because she ain't made my chicken strips for me. That's not, that's just, we gotta be free in every way. And we have to allow just the ebb and flow and just be like, okay, that's how you're gonna love me. You gonna give me an encouraging word, or you're gonna, give me that spank on my hand, that okay, we're just gonna be free with it. Thanks.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Go ahead, Renee.
Okay, so I'm going to break, so I got time now. So I understand that we can't control other people, but we do have to have some control in our own lives. We can't just Be letting all kinds of havoc be raked on us based on what other people are doing. So you do have to control people's access to you, their levels of access to you. Because if you want a free ebb and flow, you can't be letting everybody call you. You can't let everybody be connected to you, asking you for things, holding conversations, because there are just certain conversations. Once you get to a certain level, you just can't be happy. If we can't have no conversation about growth, I'm probably not gonna be talking to you. I am probably not gonna be talking to you, my friend. My friend. we just cannot. There were people who I used to talk to like on a regular basis. We not even talking. They don't call me, I don't call them. Because I don't have time for you for that access point. I'm really trying to, and those people have been moved into the 95% that Antonio always is talking about, the 95%. Once he said that, I was just, that's you onto something. Everything does not require my attention. Everything just does not require all your attention. You can control that part of your life. You can control what people, you can control what you receive, how you receive it, who you receiving it from. Control that part of you. And I bet you your flow is different. Because a lot of conversations are unnecessary. And those conversations that you are having that are unnecessary are stopping your real flow. So no, you can't control how nobody loves you, because everybody loves how they love based on their level of love and based on their traumas, isms, and schisms. But you can control you. You can't control nobody but you. And I'm not taking your phone call because the last time you talked, you drained me. And I'll call you back if I feel like it, when I feel like it. My voicemail message said I'll call you back in 24 to 48 hours. If you choose not to leave a message, you're not gonna get a phone call back because you didn't think enough to leave me a message. I don't think enough to look at my caller ID to see you call. I control that. So we can't control people. We can control our reactions, our thought processes. So we do have to have a level of control. We just can't control other people. We can't control other people. It's not our responsibility to fix everybody or nobody. We just got to go through this life experience and continue to help other people. And if we can't, don't take that personal either. Because it's something that I've become. If I can't help you, then I'm sorry. Okay, I'm okay with that. My feelings aren't hurt. It just wasn't supposed to be me helping you. And that'll get you free too. So that's all I got. But man, you the most free when you are not investing in stuff that don't have nothing to do with you. It's not your responsibility. I can't fix you. Okay. I don't even want your conversation energy. That's right. Not my battle. That's exactly right. And my favorite thing, I am not about to go back and forth with you. I'm gonna say what I say. You can say what you say, but don't expect me to respond because I really don't care to convince you my way.
I say thank you for sharing. Thank you very much for sharing.
I'd like to say
Wait,
something too.
go ahead, Miss Debbie.
To Renee, and everybody feel, how they feel about a certain thing. But I feel like at my age, I know what I expect and want from a man. You know what I mean? Because, if I didn't know what I wanted myself, then I couldn't know what to expect from him. You see what I'm saying? I know what I want in my life right now, and I can kind of see if this man can meet those potentials. If not, then I'm wasting my time. You know what I'm saying? But I think as you get older, you learn that. You know what I mean? on knowing exactly what you want out of life and from the guy that you want to spend the rest of your life with. So just wanted to say that.
No, thank you for sharing those, Janice. Thank you very much. With what Renee and Ms. Janice said, one of the things that I've learned, which a book that Mr. Phil recommended to me, was The 5 Love Languages. And that has helped me a lot, not only with my relationship with Antonio, but my relationship with my kids. Because once I learned their love languages, I understood how they showed love. And then I also understood my love language. So with Ms. Janice understands, hey, look, this is my love language. I'm at this age now. This is what I know who I am. I know what I want. You got a lot of red flags. The 5 love languages. Then Renee is like, you know what? I ain't even gonna fight you on this. That's how you show love. I got you. That's your love language. I feel you. What I'm not gonna do is sit here and try to control how you love me. Both of y'all are absolutely right, because both of y'all are saying, I'm not gonna control how you love me in 2 different ways. Ms. Janice is like, look, that's not even why I vibrate that. So you can't even come over here. We ain't doing that today, sir. No, thank you. I appreciate you. Talk about your business, too. And Renee is vibrating that. I love you. And I understand this is your love language. It took me a long time because my love language is touch and tie. Antonio's love language is action. I think it's just action. I think it's action and words of affirmation. I think, I'm not sure, but I know for a fact one is action. You tell me all the time, show me. I'm like, what you mean show you? Show me. You say this, show me. You're like, I'm not supposed to show that. So I had to learn learn his love language. But then that leads us to the next thing in developing trust and surrender. Reflect on past experiences. Renee and Ms. Janice both reflected on past experiences. And they've learned to trust themselves and surrender to what they desire. When you reflect on past experience, you look back at life and you notice instances of unpredictability, where it led to, if it led to positive outcomes or personal growth, or if it led to negative outcomes and you scorching earth, this can help you see that uncertainty isn't always negative. Prime example, you would think me staying with my ex, well, I would think me staying with my ex, I stayed past my season. But had I not stayed, I wouldn't have my kids. When I reflect back on my past experiences, the experiences that I've had, I've been to the opera. Outside of field trips, I've been to the opera. I've had the opportunity to meet amazing people like Sheila Jackson Lee. I met the wife of the first Black surgeon in Galveston County. I'm reflecting on my past experiences now. I realize that my family has a history of being being changers. Like, they've changed the trajectory of lives. My great uncle was the first Black urologist to own his own practice in Galveston County. My great aunt was the first Black youth stylist in her area that owned her own shop, entrepreneur. My grandfather was an entrepreneur. On my dad's side of the family, we owned the whole city. My dad's grandfather started an entire colony, a settlement just for mixed marriages. Because, you know, back in them days, that wasn't allowed. So you had a lot of that whole settlement was specifically for mixed marriages. Then on my grandmother's side, I have a great grandfather who was the largest cattle rancher in the state of Texas. Like when I reflect on past experiences and I reflect on the past of my family, I realize that every experience I've ever had was in my DNA. So when I look back and I got fired from one job, well, you got fired from that job because you weren't supposed to be there because that's not who you are. I've gotten promotions that I never should have gotten, only for those promotions to teach me how to actually be a leader. I've left places because of leadership, only to find out that those same people left the same leadership that I left. So just confirming, oh, I made the right decision. This supervisor got mad at me for leaving, but she left her supervisor too, only for that supervisor to end up fleeing the state for federal reasons. So it's like, yo, things happen when you reflect on your past. And you look back, all that stuff was unpredictable. There was no way I could have predicted that one of my supervisors was doing some undercut stuff and would need to flee the state for federal reasons. And I didn't know until after it happened. Because one of my homegirls was in her house when the FBI busted through her door. Yeah, stuff like that. Stuff like that. I could have predicted that, but something told me it was time to leave. I left them right on time. So when you reflect on past experiences, prime example, let's say you're driving home one night and you probably should not have been driving, but you recognize that certain things happened along the. Can y'all hear me? I think my earbuds. I'm trying to.
We can hear you.
Okay, sweet. Oh, that's the one that died. Okay. Car accidents. Car accidents. Getting put out. Like when you reflect back on things like that. Like I got put out of my mom's house at 18. She told me, "You're not going to college. You can't stay here." So look, moved in with my dad. But in the experience, it was bad. But now that I'm older, I realize there are a lot of things that I learned from my dad that I wouldn't have learned had my mama not put me around. That helped me get to where I am today. By 20, I had my own apartment because my dad said, "I'm moving to Dallas, so you can move with me and you can find your own spot." Well, I found my own spot. I would not have known that I could take care of myself had I not been put in that unpredictable situation. I'm a daddy's girl. It was predicted that I would stay with him until I got married. Okay, let me tell you something. But when you reflect on past experiences and you look back at your life and notice the instances where unpredictability led to a positive outcome or personal growth, this will help you see that it wasn't negative. It is not always negative. And uncertainty and unpredictability is not always negative. Which, go ahead, Renee.
No, I didn't mean to cut you off. If you wanna.
No. Go ahead. I was actually moving to the next one. So you raise your hand at the perfect time.
Oh, okay. There was a lot of It was a little bit of uncertainty when I decided to leave Georgia. I was like, because even though I wasn't necessarily extremely happy there because I was like, man, this is really country. And it's so slow in the town that I lived in. I was like, oh Lord, I don't know. But I had gotten used to being there. I was there for 7 years. And so eventually when it was time for me to leave, everybody was kind of like, oh, I don't know. And I kind of was getting hit with everything, but then I was like, I'm leaving. I kind of feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I literally sold everything in less than a week. I was like, I think the only thing I left in the apartment was a TV. I think that was the only thing. Well, the TV and a little TV stand was the only thing I left. Everything else was gone. And I packed up my truck, well, my SUV, and I drove the 8 hours to Martinsburg, West Virginia, to be to move closer to Jay. Boy, I was I was excited, but yeah, I was kind of like, what am I, what am I doing? I didn't even have a place to stay. I didn't even have an apartment. I was like, well, I'm staying at a hotel, but I'm going to see about an apartment. But it was kind of uneven a little bit because I was making such a big move and I was doing it, but I was just like, I don't know. But once I moved and I kind of got my legs a little bit under me, and I really believe that it was the best thing I could have did. And then the craziest thing happened. I started my job. We had training, and the second week, the whole state shut down because COVID had hit, and they were like, yep, kids are getting out of school, all this stuff. It was like the bottom just dropped. And I was like, and I thought, I wonder why it was such a rush for me to move when I did, because it wasn't any COVID anything, or at least, hadn't happened in Georgia. So it was like once I moved to West Virginia, it was like just the bottom just, but I kept my job. In fact, they gave us all COVID pay, and then they were like, okay, we're going to give you another incentive. You know what I'm saying? We'll give you an extra $50 per shift that you work. And I was like, shoot, man, there was a couple thousand, it was like over $1,000 paychecks. I was like, oh, glory. I was like, okay. But everything just continued to work out. And I was like, and I got some words, and they were like, man, you were supposed to, you know what I'm saying? God's just gonna continue to move in your life. You're gonna feel a little unsteady for a while. But I did. You know what I'm saying? I moved, and it was probably one of the best things that I've done, because I truly believe that if I wouldn't have left Georgia, I don't think I would have met all of you guys either, because it was such a safe zone. I had a good job. I loved my church. I didn't necessarily like where I lived, but I loved my church, and my job was cool. And what I'm saying, I had my own cute little car. I had my apartment, and I was kind of somewhat comfortable with all of that. But it got to be when I moved, I kind of got uncomfortable, you know what I'm saying? And then I kind of stayed uncomfortable for a while, even moving here. I moved to two different states just in 2020. I was like, good Lord. I'm like, I can't. Jay picked me up and moved me to North Carolina. I said, my God, I only been gone. I'd only been in West Virginia for like not even 6 months. I said, Jesus. But it was a huge period, but it kind of set the stage of my life, because I learned to be uncomfortable. But in being uncomfortable, I truly embraced the new. I truly, the people that were supposed to be around me have been a part of me. And I actually have people even more so that encouraged me even more to step out of my comfort zone. So it started with me being very uncomfortable, but it led to a truly huge blessing. Thanks for letting me share.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you very much for sharing. Very much for sharing. Which leads me to the next one, community and connection. You ended with us. Well, when you build a supportive network of friends, family, or a spiritual community, sharing your experiences and fears can provide comfort and a sense of belonging. So to a lot of people, well, to all of us, this is a safe place for us. We share our concerns, we share our fears, we share our challenges, we share our wins, because we know that this community supports us, and we have a community like that, dealing with unpredictability and building faith and building developing trust and surrendering. When you have a community, it's easy because no one suffers alone. Because when you're in community, if I go to Grace and I say, "Man, Grace, this is how I feel," and I felt this way before, and Grace would be like, "Man, D, you ain't alone. I felt that way too." It makes it easier. It makes it lighter to know that you are not alone. Having a community and a connection with that community helps in that. You know, Uncle Romy Rowan shares with us situations with his family. We all got crazy family. And every time he shares, we all learn something from him, because somebody is going through the same thing with their family. You're dealing with crazy family members you want to choke, family members you wish you weren't related to. But having a community and connection, blood is not always thicker than water. A lot of us here are closer to each other than we are to our blood relatives. And that's okay, because it's our community. It's a community of like-minded individuals. If our family were like-minded individuals, they'd be on here with us. And then the last thing is developing trust and surrender is practicing gratitude. Antonio talked about it yesterday during the he talked about praise during the leadership. But he talked about it yesterday. If you practice, there's actually he gave us some steps yesterday. And I'm going to share these steps with you. First, we can post the steps from Pathfinder, those 5 steps. So Antonio last night, he gave us 5 steps to me, there are 5 steps for creating a better life. The first one was stop / pause your second to give Thanksgiving. Those. So the first one is when you're going through something and you want to create your reality better, and you want to be in full of your abundance, and something's happening, the person you need to do, you need to stop. You need to pause. Second thing you need to do is give thanksgiving for each moment. Because when you give thanksgiving for each moment, it'll shield you from the negative and it'll fuel the positive. And I put my personal note next to that: praise changes. Gratitude is praise. If you practice gratitude, when Talisha reads her Bible in the morning, when she meditates and prays, she is showing gratitude. Because you got to be grateful for the Bible to read the Bible. That's one of the things I learned, my perception. Because gratitude, it's the law of attraction. If y'all ever seen the movie The Secret, when you practice gratitude daily, all you're putting out are vibrations of gratefulness. So all you're going to do is attract things that always leave you grateful. That's why praise changes. When you give praises, when you give gratitude, you just keep getting more stuff to be grateful and to praise God about. So practice gratitude. So the 7 things that you can do to develop trust and surrender is practicing mindfulness and being present, having adaptability, letting go of control, showing yourself compassion, reflecting on past experiences, having a community and connection with people, with like-minded individuals, and practicing gratitude. So, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to repost all of these in here for you guys. I'll leave that off. Oh, thank you, guys. Oh, that's too loud. I'm gonna do like 3 at a time. Hopefully that will work. Yeah, that works. Maybe I can get off for the evening. All right. There we go. Does anyone have anything that they would like to say before we close out for the day?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, Grace.
Go ahead.
I apologize to y'all. The books are not 100 anymore. That was, yeah. So if you didn't get your books then, shame on you. Now they're running 600. So if you want a book that has been, well, if you want a book in one of those categories that has been ghost written by the one and the only, you know the quality of his books, they are now 600. Reach out to Grace. I misspoke. I apologize. They are now 600. Reach out to Grace. If you're like, man, I really want a book, reach out to Grace. If you ain't got 600 in your pocket right now, still reach out to Grace. Because let me tell you something. I've read the books. I'm not going to say who they were for, but I've read the books because this is nobody's business. There's a purpose of ghost writing, okay? They're ghosts. And that's supposed to know who they are. They're powerful.
You don't
Absolutely
see
powerful.
them, you just know they're there.
Exactly. And they're powerful. So reach out to Grace. Also, ladies and gentlemen, alignment. Something happening to my screen. First it go big, then it go, okay. The align. Thank you, Grace. Exploring Alignment Conference. If you can't be there on the day, still purchase your ticket now, because afterwards we will not be sending out replays. You will need to purchase the video. And there's a little extra goodie that's coming along with it. But after the conference, that goodie will be an extra charge. So you pay your $49 or pay $97 plus later. But it's not just the deal with the ticketing, it's the education and the life-changing experience that you want to be a part of. Chakras exist. Their energy fields within you. I really believe the Holy Spirit is the heart chakra. That's just the thought I just had. Holy Spirit is a heart chakra. Because anytime you feel it, you feel it right, it's right. They speak to your life, your soul. But if you want to explore true alignment and create your life how you want it to be and live the life that you want to live, please be a part of this conference. If you didn't get anything from yesterday morning, shame on you. But if you did get anything from yesterday morning, purchase your ticket during the conference. You definitely want to be a part of it. Grace, do we have anything happening tonight? Or if y'all can just keep shoot Antonio positive energy. He will be on a flight Saturday morning. It's like his 1500 flight. I'm exaggerating, but he's been taking a lot of flights. So just shoot him some positive energy and some positive vibes. Not because the situation is negative, but just because for those of you who remember getting on the flight almost every weekend, it tends to wear you down physically. So if you just shooting some positive energy, he'll be flying out Saturday morning to go close a deal. Go ahead, Grace.
Yeah, we don't have anything else today. Today's Friday. Safe travels to Mr. Smith Jr. on tomorrow. Tomorrow is another national holiday, okay? Okay, tomorrow's another national holiday, okay? I'll just put it out there, you know?
Don't put your cash app in the chat.
But
Don't put your
always,
cash app in the chat.
always excited to see another trip around the sun, you know? So, it's right there. So
There it is. Tomorrow, Grace celebrates 42 years around the sun. I know it's 43. I'm just trying to, I know it's 43. I still can't believe you like 2.5 years older than me.
Yep.
But Grace will be celebrating for her 43rd trip around the sun. Her cash app is in the chat. You got your Zelle, you got your cash app, Venmo.
I take EBT too now. Just leave it. I got to get your pen number. Hold on there.
But yes, so there's Grace's cash app. So for those of you
I
who would
want all
like
of
to
those,
bless
okay?
her,
If you need my Venmo, let me know, okay? My Zelle is my phone number, okay? I'm just saying.
She said she got them all. So therefore, everyone, tomorrow Grace will be celebrating 43 years. Her cash app, but hold on, got few extra messages that have came in sent. There we go. If you would like to bless her and celebrate in her birthday with her, there is her cash app, because yes, tomorrow is a national holiday. We will be celebrating that national holiday. How? We don't know yet, but we will be celebrating. And Grace, the grandparents come home tomorrow. I will be childless, okay? Well, I ain't gonna do it like that. I'm gonna do it sometime. But thank all of you so very much for joining us. You can plant better. You can dominate. Everyone have a wonderful weekend. We will see
Birthday,
you on
Grace.
Monday.
Thank you.
Love you
And
more.
again,
Happy
One-
birthday.
yes,
you.
if you want a book, reach out to Grace, ATS Leads, reach out to Grace, purchase a ticket, reach out to Grace, send birthday money, reach out to Grace. Love y'all.
Just call me.
Love you more.
Love you more. Y'all have a good one.